everything that happened with precision. It's those crazies that think there's going to be a global government run by international bankers. You know, the crazy ones that, yeah, aren't they? They're so bad. They're going to cause violence in America. Whatever, you're the ones murdering people all over the world. Al-Qaeda's being put in power everywhere. And I'm like, hey, these government manuals don't talk about Al-Qaeda. It's all about arresting gun owners. Shut up, traitor. Shut up, anti-American. I thought America was about land and family and guns. I wanted to be free. I just wanted to be left alone. Shut up. Bankers that engage in fraud and take private bank accounts from people and people's houses that are paid for, they're the good men. You're the bad man. Oh, the IMF is drawing up another $500 billion package to save Italy, Spain, and the euro. I probably told you about 100 times after they were done with Iceland, Ireland. I even told you the order because there's a public plan. Greece. Then it would then be Italy, Spain, Portugal. Oh, and of course then they leveraged the $500 billion to around $10 trillion. They leveraged $1.4 billion into $5 trillion. They're going to leverage all of this. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, they need, then when that implodes, it'll spread to America. And we've got to merge it all. There's got to be one big thing. Oh, let's have the very people that engineered it fix it. And all the media will say, they have fixed it. They have fixed it. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. I mean, because the trendies read economists. Oh, the bankers are going to take over. No more freedom? You mean we're getting rid of governments and it'll be experts? Oh my God, it's so trendy. You people that said there'd be a dictatorship and the military on the streets and that banks would run everything, you're kooks for being right, but it is trendy. It's good and I love it, but you're also wrong and kooks. This is the mental illness of these people. And they'll have their bank accounts taken, everything. Their kids will die of cancer from the vaccines. They'll die early. They love it. It's like, oh my God, I love the system. Because the system smiles at them on TV, the psychopaths and the teleprompter info babes trained to mimic psychopath liars. They sit up there and, oh, tonight we're going to cover how we're going to take your money. Ooh. And it's like, yay, yay. I mean, I'm sorry. I mean, how much more crazy does it have to get? Because it's going to get bad, folks. They're going to probably start trying to shut the web off, arrest people like me. I mean, who knows how they'll try to set me up. But it doesn't matter. We beat them in the end because we knew the truth. And folks will listen down the road. No amount of brainwashing, Prozac is going to stop that. No amount of NFL and this culture of death. None of it will stop it. Now let's move into the type of people we're dealing with here. You know, I asked Paul Watson a month ago to do an article. I said, look it up. It's 5 times more likely to abuse children in government care, CPS, than any other group. So they take kids and they just think they're at risk in actuaries. Well, what about an actuary about government being the greatest risk? And Paul sent back email and said, well, look at all these government documents. You're 17 times more likely to be abused sexually by CPS, 5 times regular physical. A good, you know, punch in the nose, starving, whatever. And so government is 17 times more likely to abuse children, and they're the ones over children because they like it. The Daily Mail and others are reporting that major TV programs like ESPN had the tapes for 10 years of the wife of this Syracuse coach, assistant coach, saying, yes, I watched him rape little boys. And, you know, ESPN said, hey, it's a club. Your kids, you know, we're not releasing this. So the assistant coach went down to Safeway and got a steak. That's how it's seen. The public's our food. Ah, look, they think we care that the kids are our food. We're psychopath control freak scum. We're a legion of evil. We're not releasing it because that's who we are. We've been given power over this world to carry out evil, especially against children, and we're going to be accomplices, just like Sandusky and everything else. And you know what? America doesn't care either. Take your vaccines and give us your children. He got what he deserved. Victims praise Syracuse for firing sex abuse scandal coach as tapes reveal his wife watched husband molest boys in their home. And ESPN had the tapes and just said, you know what? We're not going to go there because we're part of a team. A team. watch all those homoerotic shows, all those things they do on the sports. Hey, if that's their thing, whatever. But keep your hands off kids, okay? I know who you are. I know who you are. DynCorp, all of it. You're all scum. Continuing here, ESPN reporter explains why the fine tape wasn't released in 2002. Oh, you know, and why not? DynCorp Halliburton run this stuff worldwide. Comes out in Congress, nothing's done. Why not? Those of us that don't want to hurt children are the bad people in the land of hell. In an insane culture, those that are good are the bad people. And you've got to learn that. You are the hunted ones. You are the bad people. All right, we're going to go to break and come back with the major news reports and a new peer-reviewed paper, The Corporate Psychopath Theory of the Global Financial Crisis. And then Gerald Celente is coming up. Great job to the crew so far. Please, I hope this isn't pearls before swine. Do you realize how powerful this info is? I'll tell you like it is. We can beat these people, but you've got to admit how bad they are. Okay? It's the only way to beat them. You've got to admit how rotten we've gotten and how pathetic we've gotten if we're ever going to dig out of this. Because you think it's bad now. These teams of psychos are getting ready to do a major blitz on us all. They've got it all lined up, all ready. They've been poisoning our food and water for a while, and we're in a red level emergency. And as the professor is about to tell you, they're even going to destroy their own system. They cannot help it. They're cancer. They're not winning as they run through the body. They're destroying the host. We'll be right back. It's INFOWARS Nightly News. If you believe in this information, please be sure and support the broadcast by subscribing. The 15-day free trial ends in 3 days. If you believe in this information and want to support its viral spread, go to the INFOWARS store at INFOWARS.com. We've got the new G.I. Joe INFOWARS T-shirts. We've got the incredible Pro Pure gravity-fed filters available at INFOWARS.com in the store. We've got a new DVD, Scientists Under Attack, the Don't Tread on Me flag. We've got all sorts of different bumper stickers to help spread the rebellion virally. It's all there. Wristbands, citizen rule books in every order. Order online at INFOWARS.com today. The water filters, the canteens, it's all there. INFOWARS.com. Now, Gerald Celente is going to be joining us in the final segment tonight with the latest developments with MF Global, now into the multi-billions of account holders who've had their money taken. And there's been a shocking new development even in this crazy case. They're now sending them new account statements and saying, oh, we've altered it and taken your money. Incredible. And he's going to show us that coming up, joining us from New York. But look at this article. Weeding out corporate psychopaths. And this is something I've researched. You have a certain number of psychopaths in the population, and they tend to kind of be brood mothers over groups of sociopaths, control freaks, sadists, and others who serve them. There's different varieties under them. And they always build, kind of like spiders building webs, the same type of societies. And they're very scientific about it now. And we see them devaluing currency, selling government's derivatives, bankrupting them, Bank of America and others taking houses they don't own knowingly. And then the federal and state courts rule, you can do it, and you can lie in the mirror's filings. I mean, it's crazy. But Hitler, Stalin, Mao, Nero, the list goes on and on. This is the norm when good people don't recognize it. But this guy has really researched, and I don't want to go over his lengthy bio. He's lived in Australia, Asia, all over the world. He is Dr. Clive Boddy, research academic. And, of course, he's been at Middlesex University and Lincoln Universities and just involved in a lot of deep research into toxic leadership, corporate psychopaths, and more, and how that influences organizational outcomes. And just amazing insight. So I'm going to try to give him the floor and break down his peer-reviewed paper titled The Corporate Psychopath's Theory of the Global Financial Crisis. Details of how highly placed psychopaths in the banking sector may have nearly brought down the world economic system through their inherent inability to care about the consequences of their actions. Actually, a lot of them have a thrill. Look at the beautiful colors of blood, basically. And from my research in their own documents, it's actually a plan, order out of chaos. They wreck it, then pose as saviors, and use the corporate whore media to never point that out. But again, a professor, Dr. Clive Boddy, joins us. Sir, thank you for coming on with us. Where are you exactly joining us from Skype tonight?
Well, at the moment, I'm based in Cambridge in the UK, so I'm at home.
Well, it's awesome to have you here with us. Okay, you've got the floor. You got 10 minutes to explain to people your paper, the theory. Hopefully it's online so people can read it, because it doesn't sound like a theory to me. The sun comes up in the morning, and you know, that's basically what your basic thesis says to me.
Well, so far it's just a theory. I've researched the effects of corporate psychopaths on various aspects of managerial behavior, and everything points in the same direction, more or less. So I've looked at conflict and bullying, corporate social responsibility, job satisfaction, workload, withdrawal from the organization, organizational constraints and productivity, and organizational commitment to employees. And corporate psychopaths have a statistically significant and quite major effect in all those areas, some more than others. And for example, in my research, I estimate that about a quarter of all bullying is accounted for by the presence of corporate psychopaths, who only represent, as you've just said, 1% of the population. So the theory is, if you move on from the research that we have done, that there are a number of theories about what they might also be doing that is relevant to today's economic environment. There's three related theories in this respect. There's a theory that they are attracted to certain organizations more than others because they want the power and money and prestige that are only to be found in those organizations. And obviously, the financial services sector is one of those organizations where relatively large financial rewards can be gained.
Police, military, anything that has university heads carrying out their pedophile operations, they want that power because it also gives them protection, doesn't it?
Well, yeah, I mean, those are different types of psychopaths I think you're talking about. My interest is primarily in those who are after money and power rather than control of other people and violence, which might be attracted to different kinds of organizations.
Sure, but the power to tax, the power to devalue currency, that's one of the most ultimate forms of violence. But, but you're the expert in this area, but please continue.
Yeah, at the same time as that, there's the theory that as organizations have become less and less bureaucratic, less hierarchical, much more influenced by constant change and turnover of personnel, the opportunities for psychopaths to enter those organizations and, more importantly, to remain unnoticed, because people don't really get to know each other over long periods of time anymore in the workplace, gives them the opportunity to enter, not become noticed, and slowly to move up the corporate hierarchy until they attain the positions of power and influence that they're after. And then, after that, they work to their own advantage, not to the advantage of the company that employs them. And that's the key difference, I think, between them and normal employees or the rest of us.
So you're saying they'll gut the company in a year just so they get a $50 million bonus, even though it destroys even the long-term profitability?
Well, they would if they had the chance, yeah. I think that's pretty certain.
Please continue, then.
Yeah. And so another thing that people sort of struggle with is, because they're 1% of the population, people think they can't have much influence. But if you imagine a corporate hierarchical structure, the more up the hierarchy they go, and there is weak evidence to show that they're more to be found at the top of organizations than at the bottom. So the higher up they go, the more influence they have to those around them. And they have a toxic influence by example. So people follow their ethics, they follow their style, and they affect the corporate culture of the whole organization in an ethically downwards direction, leading to consequences that people do things when they are around the